What's up, guys? It is Cadence here, and welcome to today. I am recapping the final season of the Vampire Diaries. It's done. I'll be moving on to the next show, which is the originals. Yeah, the Vampire Diaries is done. I got so emotional in the last episode. It was something. Okay. So if you guys are new here, we recap after the end of the season finale. We recap the whole show and just kind of go over it. There's an award ceremony at the end and in memorial, all the good stuff. I don't know if I'm the right head space for this because I finished season 8 today. Whew. I'm okay. So we're gonna go over this. Just so you all know, I'm gonna mention this in every vlog probably. I will be starting the originals right after this. And yeah, gonna grab some water. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. This will probably be a little shorter than the previous ones because the season was shorter. So let's get into this. I have my notes written here and we're gonna get through this. Alright, I'm gonna do the recap. I'll do the award show and then I'll finish it with In Memoriam. So, yeah. So in typical fashion of opening with a couple out and about, living their life, who run into who? Damon and Enzo, because remember they left off in the vault, basically had their switches flipped for them essentially, kind of, not really, by some sort of creature in the vault, right? They lure these people back to their slaughter pit, and I asked them all the bad things they've ever done in this life, like who is the worst out of you two? Enzo took the girl out, and Damon killed the boy, and see Enzo kind of leaving clue to mimic the Odyssey to kind of tip off Bonnie about the location during all this. Damon lures the stuff into a pool of blood where some evil witch type thing lives, and she ate him, cleaned off his bone. It's pretty impressive. Bonnie figured out some clues, and her and Stefan went to the warehouse to find Damon has flipped his switch, and that they don't want to be saved. Damon's like, hey, this is what I do now, back up off me. And Damon drops a line about switching his switch off to protect his loved one. He advises Enzo to do the same fully, and Enzo, maybe on a dimmer, maybe it was a flip, maybe it was on the old time, he's just kind of winning it, no self-control because the siren that we meet. Caroline moves in with Stefan to bring Rick closer to home to protect the twins, who Virginia tried to kill a bit earlier. She bit off her tongue. Somewhat weird. That's good for her, I guess. The siren is Sybil. She reveals herself to Damon and Enzo covered in blood. Her name is Sybil. She can't get through to Enzo. Then meanwhile, Damon kind of has these dreams about Elena. Kind of figured at some point Nina will come back here to advise her role as Elena Gilbert. I actually saw on IMDb that she was credited for like an X amount of episodes where we were at in the show and she was in the coffin amount of episodes. It was like 17 more episodes she got credit for out of like the 30 that were left, and then I realized that they were using flashbacks and other footage and name drops and stuff here and there were credited, but she was really only in like the last 2 episodes kind of, so especially last episode. So she gets one name in Enzo's mind, which I'm gonna dig through it, Sarah Sevator. Brings her back to the whole situation. So Enzo tries to leave out more clues about her, and Enzo's remained by Bonnie and kidnapped until his tether to Sybil kicks in, forcing him to go to her. Meanwhile, Damon attacks Caroline, puts her out of harm's way in a sense, the way I looked at it, and then goes after Sarah. Kind of forced for him to kill Sarah Salvatore. Stefan tries to get through to him. He does a little bit, and then Sybil fucking starts humming. She dies in Damon's mind, and he sees Elena, and she starts pulling pieces from his mind of Elena and replacing them with her, scrubbing his mind completely. Now, as Enzo returns, she dies in his mind as well, seeing Bonnie for the first time. Rick, on the opposite side of all this, gets a little closer to his intern, right? Her name's Georgie. She's died before, and she wears a tattoo to match something. They talk about some artifacts, right? They find this pitchfork almost, it's only two things. Coming to find out it's a tuning fork. Literally. Stefan reveals to Caroline that he's making room for her kids, blah blah blah. He ends up proposing. So Stefan Salvatore proposes to Caroline Forbes. Bonnie celebrates with the engagement. Stefan breaks the news to Rick. Rick's like, alright, cool, congrats. Rick and Georgie slowly learn about this pitchfork. Pitch being literal. Also more heaven and hell stuff. We're learning about the devils at this point. The devil. Damon. By the way, I wish they would have name dropped Arcadius. Let's just go back to when Professor Shane was talking about Silas and Ketsia. He could have said something about the legend of Arcadius before that and maybe wrap up on it and then go into it just to plant the seed. But that just tells me again that this shit was so. Damon calls Stefan to help him. He really wants some help fighting Enzo. Stefan tries to break them up and he tries to kill Enzo, but Caroline kind of saves the day. And they both get the next stop. They end up fighting. Bonnie shows up. She's forced to choose. She chooses Enzo. So Sybil's like, you know what? No, I don't want this. I pick Damon. But Enzo has to flip his switch, which she does. So Bonnie runs and Damon's about to kill her. Rick shows up with a tuning fork and Georgie sees the whole thing, right? Sybil has this continued control over Damon after all these people, and at the end of this episode, the greatest thing that's ever happened in television, Damon Salvatore kills Tyler Lockwood. Bites into his neck, dead. Which, the only thing that pisses me off about this whole show, Season 1, Episode 1, the whole Tyler Vicky thing, right? Again, to explain it for new people, presented as a human, has his interaction with her. No mythological, supernatural compulsion, none of that stuff. Presented. Drunk, tries to force himself upon her. I had to give my comments before. He's like, oh, he's drunk. That excuse? He's a werewolf. He's got anger. Listen. Presented as a human, going through this situation with Vicky, and they show them standing next to each other at the end of the fucking show, and that makes me sick to my stomach. That's disgusting. We get to meet Matt's real dad. He looks just like him, and Damon's looking for Magic 8-Ball type thing. We learn about Arcadius, and reveals he is the devil. We learn about Celine, too, the babysitter that's watching Rick's kids, also a siren. Big Bad Bop, there's two of them. Cameo shit, they had a weird backstory. She uses Georgie to try to free Sybil, and then she kills Georgie, and that's it. Georgie gets pulled off into the stratosphere like Catherine, never to be seen again. All because she killed her friend. That's it. Permanent damnation for Georgie, just burning in hell right now. Before all that, she locked Rick in the vault, so he had to cut off his little ears to get free. We never see him get blood to get his hearing back, but whatever. He cut into his ear to stab his eardrum. So Georgie, stuck in hell, never showed him, like I said. Damon at this point in the show seems to be too far gone almost. He eventually asks Stefan for help. On the brink of flipping a switch back, Stefan puts him in a coffin full of chains. Sybil ends up freeing him, it doesn't matter. Bonnie burns the cabinet down, finally gets Enzo to flip his switch, and seeing her in pain forces him to come back to the good side. Matt recognizes Celine through some photos. Rick and Caroline march back to find their girls gone. With Celine. To go to meet the devil. Rick snaps, goes off fucking Liam Neeson, right? Enzo gets trapped in the mind control again. Matt and Stefan used to help to locate the girls. Celine looks to offer the twins to Cade for some freedom. Instead, Sybil offers Damon and Stefan to be served because they agree to. They've talked about an eternity deal. Stefan talks it down to 1 year of him and his brother going around killing the worst of the worst. So Rick and Matt go up for a kill. For some reason, Robin breaks up. Rick kills Damon, unfortunately. He goes to the other side. There was no emotion for me because I'm like, he has made a deal with the devil. He's not dead. But like I said, he's not dead. He's just with the devil, you know? Damon kills Stefan so he can talk to Cade. They have a little thing that makes us rager. Caroline gives Damon a gift. It's Elena's necklace, which causes him to have flashbacks and starts seeing Elena, but doesn't really know why. Like, who is she almost? Stefan flips his switch. boys back on the road. So now Stefan and Damon are out in the road killing people with one of these patients, and that ends up going in Stefan's favor because he knows at the end of the day she'll make the decision to kill Damon, and she does. And he ends up killing her for it. The whole big twisted game. Taylor, which I found out initially all like auditioned for the role of Elena, who looks just like Nina almost, and she had this role, which is pretty cool. Matt is dead along with Sybil and Caroline looking for the bill. Damon throws his necklace out the window, goes back, has a redemption art with an inmate, so kind of beautiful, honestly. Damon and Stefan hit up Miss Mystic Falls. Damon has some of his memories restored about Sybil. The realization causes Stefan to hit the road on his own. He turns violent, aka Cassidy from Shameless, and then Caroline says she wants to join them. Let's go kill these bad guys. I'm there for you. And he lets her know what he's doing is fun, and he's ready to do it until he's done. She throws his ring at him. Enzo gave Bonnie a lot of blood so they can turn into this. You can turn into a vampire, but then she couldn't because she'd never be able to see Elena again, the whole thing there. Damon locks up Sybil in the Chamber of Secrets, only for her to give him back his memories. Damon, as a zombie, was trapped in his own hellfire and brimstone. So Caroline and Bonnie try to free him. Cameos from Vicky, Rams, even Bitchface. Stefan's the one that has to free him. Damon forgives him for turning him, which I think we've already been down this road, but that's another story. I'm trying not to sneeze. Damon, back in the Smithsonian, goes to save the city from a bell that Matt was compelled to ring 12 times, gets to 11. Meanwhile, Matt's head hits it. It's still... It was still enough for Cade to come through, He's ordering coffee, which we find out while he's ordering coffee, that gives him a chance to read Bonnie's mind, get a little information, okay? So Cade ends up freeing Stefan from the Chamber of Secrets. He makes a deal with both brothers. You can kill 100 bad people. Damon kills Caroline, or Stefan kills Elena, and he jumps down to killing Elena. And doing all this, Bonnie gives Enzo his bucket list before he takes the cure. They go to get the cure. As she's getting it, fucking Enzo, guess what, drops dead from Whipper. Stefan whips his fucking heart out. On his way to kill Elena, Bonnie says, "Uno reverse, bitch," stabs him with the cure. Stefan is now human. Bonnie breaks that news to Damon. Stefan gets pulled over to arrest about fucking murders. Caroline has to deal with all this shit, compelled people. Flashback to Matt and his dad, or Matt back in the day as Ethan Maxwell, shows a tie to Beatrice Bennett, and we learn how to kill Cade. They end up taking the Journal Burns as a hard pack. Damon saves his life. Come to find out, you have to have this fucking dragon glass. The Ashen Dagger. The Devil Dagger is what they call it. And just as they're about to come up with a plan to how to kill this motherfucker, Ramen's kind of making up a bit. Guess what? Kai shows up. What pisses me off? We never got a ramen, one final ramen drink moment of them two sipping together. All we got was Rick saying he cares about Damon. That's it. Big go from calling him his brother, killing him, to fucking not caring about him, to saying he cares about him. Great storytelling. Kai's here. He can't feel anything. He's like in the middle almost. He's being slowly pulled towards hell, and he has to kill more bad people, and they do. Bonnie learns she can contact Enzo, as he is hiding in this place that Bonnie may wish to scream, just kind of like how Cade made, showing how powerful Bonnie is. Dorian, kidnapped Stefan, and we learn that Stefan killed his parents back in the day when he was in Whipper mode, trapped over Klaus. Every one of Stefan compelled now has their memories back now that he's human. So, Dorian made him dig his own grave, shoots him, and then saves him life. Stefan chooses to live in that moment. He's gonna die, but not today, just at the end of this. So, Stefan saves Matt. Oh wait, Stefan has Matt on board with his murder files, or the Sire's fate. Stefan then tells Caroline that he wants to leave Mystic Falls alone, with a mistake. The twins are getting angry at using their abilities, blah blah blah. With Damon making Kai bring Elena, wants to bring her back to life at this moment, or waking her. He siphons all of Damon's energy, basically kills him, pretty much. Apparently, Cade's there, right? Wait, hold on. Okay. Kai offers the casket to Cade. When confronted, he stabs Stefan before Damon can snap his neck. And then human Stefan's just always in danger, by the way. He gets his hand stabbed, he's bleeding, it's the whole thing. Stefan plans to kill the devil, and this leads to a fight where the devil gets the better of Stefan, and it makes Damon choose between Elena or Stefan. And Damon chooses himself, and he gives up his soul, and he kills himself. And the battle between minds as Bonnie shows up, her connection to Elena, she senses danger, and then Bonnie versus Cade takes place, which provides just enough distraction for Stefan to come up and stab Cade the devil. Arcadius kills him. Beautiful death, by the way. Stefan stabbed and killed Silas, Julian, and Arcadius. Stabbed him and killed him, getting rid of all the problems, basically. So they needed a new leader of Hill, and guess who the name dropped? Catherine. She's on the loose. She's out killing, until the Scooby Squad comes up with an idea to have Caroline and Stefan's wedding that day. Or the next day, and they do. They go to get her moans to make a dagger. Matt's parents go back to town to come meet his mom, Kelly. So Kelly Donovan. Wedding goes off without a hitch. Beautiful, everything. It's a beautiful wedding. I loved every bit of it. After the party killing, because the guys try to kill Bonnie and the twins, the twins have to siphon Bonnie's magic to make a spell so they can escape, and it cuts off her tie to Enzo. Gets revealed that Catherine is using Kelly to make distractions, so Vicky can read the bell 12 times. So she can't just ring it. She has to ring it every 5 minutes for some fucking reason. Gives the team enough time to go figure it out. Matt calls for operation of evacuation, and the Devil Dagger is able to kill Catherine, but she just keeps coming back. So they lure her into the tunnels so Bonnie can kind of use the Hellfire to travel to the armory, which is luring its way, and then they can use that to kill. So Damon and Stefan have an argument about who's going to sacrifice themselves, kind of like Black Widow and Hawkeye. Excuse me, in Endgame. And Stefan says, "Let me do this." And Damon says, "Okay." And then compels him to walk away. And then Stefan turns and walks away. But you see, Stefan swore that he'd never walk with honor as a human without. So Stefan gave Damon his blood to give him the cure, and he held Catherine in his arms as they died, which is poetic for Catherine dying next to the man that she loved. Stefan sacrificed himself in that moment, giving Damon the cure so he can live his human life with Elena like he had planned beforehand. Before walking back to the show, Caroline leaves a heartbreaking phone call when Rick tells him Elena's in high school, and she bumps into Stefan just like episode 1. Caroline and Stefan also kiss in the high school, which is beautiful, but Elena and Stefan bump into each other, and these two that were destined to meet had a relationship that was interesting, ended for the best, numerous times actually. He tells her, whispers in her ear that he got Caroline's voicemail and that he will always love her. Bonnie was able to break the spell, and now Elena's awake. Cut to Damon and Caroline in Stefan's grave, and Damon thinks he'll never get to see his brother again, but he knows Caroline well. All the friends show up. Elena and Damon meet, they kiss immediately. Caroline, Bonnie's there, Alaric's there, even Matt's there. Because at the end of the day, despite Matt's weird hatred for Damon and Alaric's weird choice to have Damon there for a minute, these people are family. And Matt remained the sheriff of Mystic Falls. They gave him a little bench for being a hero and saving the day. Caroline and Rick opened the Xavier School for the Gifted. With the help of Jeremy and Dorian, Jeremy makes a special guest appearance. Klaus donates $3 million to this place, talks about a future, hopefully he gets to meet Caroline again. Bonnie's traveling and she hears Enzo still. Still a connection. Violet's blood. And we get Elena and Damon together. Elena writes her final entry, "Dear Diary. Today will be different. I get to live again. I finished nursing school, and she's at the cemetery, and the crow's there, just like the first episode with Damon, which I think they turned to a crow, or I don't know. And apparently they lived their life together and just died in the 30s or something. But they lived their life together. Despite all that, Damon thought he would never get peace. But Elena and Damon together, they lived a full life and will be with redemption. They found peace. Elena with her family, with her parents, even John Gilbert, with Jenna. And then, cut to Stefan drinking by the fireplace. Little knock on the door. It's Damon to embrace and a hug, and it's just beautiful. And that's a wrap on season 8, and that's a wrap on the series of the Vampire Diaries. So, I think I had 2 extra notes that Alaric should have mentioned earlier. Arcadia should have mentioned earlier. Same with the sirens. I feel like with Professor Shane, they mentions of the sirens and Arcadia should have been mentioned. Like, set that up for a certain point, and it wasn't. I feel like Jeremy should have, I don't know when they shot it, I don't know when. I feel like Jeremy should have been with them at the funeral. I feel like everybody should have been at the funeral. Including maybe even Dorian should have been there, Jeremy should have been there, Klaus should have been there. That takes away from the Klaus moment, like Klaus should have got wind. And so let's do our awards first, and then we'll do our in memorial to wrap this up. Favorite episode? Episode 3, Damon killing Tyler. Favorite scene? Damon killing Tyler. Funniest scene? Damon killing Tyler. Favorite kill? Damon killing Tyler. Favorite character? Damon killing Tyler. Favorite quote? Damon killing Tyler. Best kiss? Damon killing Tyler. That's actually what I have written, by the way. So, favorite episode, I have 2. I have 3. Episode 2 is on there for episode 15 is my favorite episode. I loved the wedding. It was just beautiful. And then episode 16, the final episode, I was feeling epic. And I'm going to give it to the finale. I'm going to give it to episode 16 that I was feeling epic. Because it made me feel things. And despite it being rushed, a lot of loopholes. It's a great episode. Favorite scene? Stefan proposing to Caroline. Damon killing Tyler. The wedding. All the witches pushing back to the hellfire. Or Stefan and Damon hugging at the end. I think my favorite scene will actually be the wedding. Yeah, the wedding was beautiful. It was super nice. Damon and Stefan hugging at the end was just very emotional. But that wedding was just pure. I loved it. Most heartbreaking scene? The last episode when Damon and Stefan were arguing about who was going to sacrifice themselves. Honestly, I think that's going to top all of it. It was really emotional. They were really fighting over who would sacrifice themselves. It was insane. It was sad. I'll also give it to when Rick tells Caroline they aren't her kids. That was emotional. But yeah, the one that will win was definitely Damon and Stefan arguing about who would sacrifice themselves. Just, that's what shattered me. Like, I had tears early in that episode, but that really set it off. The funniest scene is gonna have to be Damon killing Tyler. Because just a useless character. Favorite kiss? Bonnie and Enzo numerous times. Matt kissing Bonnie on the forehead. Damon and Elena at the end when they first see each other, finally after all the seasons. But I'm gonna give it to Stefan and Caroline at the wedding is my favorite kiss. By far my favorite kiss, actually. I really loved that. You know, I'm still kind of upset that we didn't get Catherine and Stefan on a date with Elena and Damon. I think that would have been great. Anyways, favorite kill? I'm gonna have to go with Cade killing the Sirens was sick, Stefan killing Enzo, Kai killing the waiter at the grill when he pulled him towards him and stabbed him. That was wicked. Stefan killing Cade was fucking nutty. But my favorite kill is Damon killing Bitchface. That's just as simple as it is. Favorite quote, I was feeling epic and hello brother. Those were really emotional quotes. Favorite character this season, is Damon. I'm gonna have to give it to Damon this season. Damon, Stefan, and Caroline, those top 3. The last 2 seasons were 100% about them and showcased them, their dynamic, their relationship, and that's just where it's at. So now it's time for my season rankings. You'll have to wait. I'm gonna do like a full video of the season rankings on its own. But 8 is not my least favorite. Like Whipper Stefan and all this other shit, but I kind of felt like old Vampire Diaries. I'm gonna say that in the first 4 seasons almost. 5, 6, and 7 were a little weird. 6 was beautiful. 7 went off the rails. I think 8 kind of brought it back and had a beautiful, beautiful finale. So in memoriam, let's do our in memoriam. The cheater from episode 1 and that girl, Virginia St. John, the blood artist.
Oh, you fat
gun guy.
doll.
Sarah Nelson, aka Sarah Salvatore, Lou, Georgie, Bitchface, Tyler, Bitchface Lockwood, there we go, Greg, the Gravekeeper, all the people, Deputy Dan, Meg, Elizabeth, everyone else in the AA meeting, Tara, the cute nurse, not Tara, but the cute nurse, all the nurses actually, the Jeffrey Dean Morgan whip-off to Mark, Violet, Sybil, Celine, the peeps at the grill, Enzo St. John, Vampire Stefan, Mystic Grill Waiter, Creepy Cook at the breakfast diner, Random Guy in the dumpster, Cade, the Uber Guy, Pretty Girl at the grill, Kelly Donovan, Vicky Donovan again, Catherine Pierce again, and then Stefan Salvatore, Damon Salvatore, and Elena Gilbert. Rest in peace to all that we have lost throughout this show. Rest in peace. Phenomenal show. I really love the finale. I enjoy season 8. Thank you for recommending this show to me, and allow me to watch this. Thank you for sticking around for 8 seasons, especially if you're watching the recap. And again, episode 1, the pilot, season 1, episode 1, the pilot, season 8, episode 16. I was feeling epic. This has been a journey. And then I'll be starting the originals tomorrow. And I will see you guys then. I have a bunch of stuff until then. So yeah. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment down below what you want to see on this channel. I'm open to suggestions. Hit that bell to get notified for all of my future videos. And I will see y'all next time. Peace. Game Lover out.